in Winchester for the Battle of Britain,
Yes.
and you saw the planes going over.
Yeah.
What was that like? Was it did it go on for days and days?
Went
Was
on
it
for days and days.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Were the planes very high?
The
Up
planes
in
you
the
could see them.
yeah yeah.
I don't know what they were, but that what was high. They
Yep.
were going over probably at about 10,000 feet or so.
Okay.
You could
Okay.
see the plane,
You can see them quite easily.
planes,
Yeah.
and see the sun glinting on their wings.
Mm-hmm.
We knew some poor devil was getting pounded.
Yep.
But not us.
Yep.
In
So
Winchester.
they weren't dropping bombs on you or anything.
No, no.
Did they get intercepted there, or were the
No,
fighting was elsewhere?
they got intercepted
Mm-hmm.
both before and after. In other
Yep.
words, they had been fired on
Mm-hmm.
before they got there, and when they got to the coast, of course, they were. When they got inland,
No.
they were fired on a lot.
Yep.
They were fired as they crossed the coast.
Yep.
And they were fired on after that.
After that,
I didn't notice any of them crashing, but then
okay.
I wasn't looking out for them.
Mm. So they were basically just flying over where you were. You could see them quite easily.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But of course, I watched the papers, and
yep.
they were having heavy losses doing this.
Mm-hmm.
They quit after about quite soon. I don't know how long.
A couple weeks, sort of thing.
Weeks or so. Yeah.
Did they come over at night after that, or did you even notice?
After that, they came over at night.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we developed night fighters.
Yep. Yep. So.
Of which, of course, one of our classic university was a night fighter. We had some people in there. Mm-hmm. We had some people doing everything.
No, what? Okay, some of the
Yeah.
So you knew people who were working on night fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flying them or
designing
them?
Flying
them. Oh my goodness.
And they survived the war.
Hmm. Yeah. Well,
but couldn't get a PhD.
Oh, it was bad for their studies to fly night
fighters.
For
their studies, yes.
That's quite something. So you mentioned Singapore. Now, when you came back from Singapore, there is some family story about how your ship was sunk. Is that?
Oh! When we came back from Singapore, no, the ship I came back on. Mm-hmm. I left the ship and went down south, of course, by train.
Yep.
The ship was sunk that night.
Ah,
by German bombers.
You were fortunate to get off of it.
Yeah.
That was in where? Liverpool?
That was in Liverpool.
Liverpool Harbor, okay.
Yeah.
It was bombed and sunk in harbor.
Yeah.
That's quite something. And then you were living in London for a while. Where did you live when you were working in the bunker? Where did you actually live?
Well, I lived in various places.
Mm.
I lived with John White until he got ill.
Mm.
We both got ill. We didn't eat enough.
No, this was the malnutrition story. Okay, that was during the war. Okay, that probably made it even worse.
No, that was during the war.
Okay.
When I came back from Singapore,
yep.
I went back to Hazelmere for a short time.
Yep.
And then I was back to then to London.
Yep.
Where I was put at the Citadel.
Right.
Which was the place 6 things underground where King George VI used to come in.
Yep.
Once a week.
Once a week or so to check on how badly things were going.
Check on how badly things were going. But he was given a more happy view of affairs by the novelist.
Yep.
What's his name?
Ian Fleming.
Ian Fleming, yes.
That's quite the story.
Yeah.
So you were living with John White for at least part of that time?
Yeah.
And you guys did not eat well?
We did not eat well, and then we both got sick. So the Admiralty gave me a month off to recover.
Oh, okay.
Because the Harley Street specialist couldn't find what was wrong with me. And I went to our local doctor in Leamington, who was a woman.
Yep.
And she questioned me and said immediately, what are your meals like? And I said, well, not very regular because because we were always had to rush out in the evening before the pubs closed.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, okay. And she didn't want to hear anymore.
Yeah.
She said, you're not eating properly. And she told me what you had to do to eat properly.
Ah.
And so I did. And I've eaten properly ever since.
Oh, that's good.
And the illness I had vanished.
Okay, so you
baffled
probably
the
had
Harley-
scurvy or something.
It baffled the Harley Street specialist. He threw his face down and said, I'm not seeing you anymore. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Very funny.
Because he didn't think anyone would be stupid enough
To simply not eat.
to simply not eat the right things. Yeah.
So, where did you go? Did you go home or did you go?
No, I went home. That's why I
Yep.
found our local physician.
Okay.
Diagnosed
you as,
And I
as
just
being malnourished.
and I just rested at home, which is good because that's the last chance I had of seeing
Yep.
the family together. 'Cause
Yep.
after that, everyone had dispersed. John had already gone.
Gone off to the army, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So that was an odd form of luck.
Yeah.
Let's see. And there was a time when you were living in London when your house got wrecked. Is that right?
Well, that was at the very end.
The very end. Okay.
That was at the very end. It wasn't my house. It was James and Maureen's house.
Okay. James. Yep.
I was visiting James and Maureen.
Yep.
I used to come down to London for the weekends.
Okay. Oh, this was when you were in Bletchley Park?
Bletchley Park, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And
a bomb, a buzz bomb, fell on near their house. It fell in the Thames.
Yeah.
But of course, that spent this water, dirty water,
spouted
great
everywhere.
velocity, right, and broke all the windows.
Pretty much wrecked
covered
the house.
everything with mud.
Oh dear. So that was that the second time they'd been bombed out? Weren't they bombed out?
No, that was the first time we were.
Okay. Okay.
The first and only time we were actually bombed out.
Okay. John, because I remember Gwen was quite traumatized by that. She lost things. This is Teresa's story, but I think it was Teresa that told me that they lost a lot of their work and.
Who?
James and Maureen.
Oh, James and Maureen is different.
Yeah.
Maureen was at the hospital, right in the centre of London.
Mm-hmm.
It was bombed heavily all the time.
Oh dear. Okay, so she was.
She had the most ferocious time of all of us in the war.
Oh my goodness.
She was continuously bombed.
Hmm.
St. George's is right in the centre.
Oh, okay. And but their house was only bombed the one time.
But their house was only bombed the one time.
But apparently they did lose a fair amount of possessions when it was.
Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah, they covered everything in mud and their possessions, paintings and furniture and so on.
Yeah, we're all ruined.
We're all ruined.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so that was on top of being bombed at work fairly constantly.
Yeah.
Okay, so no wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teresa.
But Maureen had the toughest war of us all
Mm-hmm.
as a nurse because she was in the thick of the bombing always.
Oy. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense because I'd heard she was quite traumatized by that. It was difficult. Well, wow. So
but
what?
I'm not sure that Maureen was traumatized by the war.
Oh, because
She was difficult anyway.